Making advanced products that are affordable and widely available is essential to create a thriving and open society. Elon Musk made that clear in Tesla's Master Plan 4. With that view in mind, the $8,797 Tesla Model 2, promoted as a 2026 game changer, gets a practical look. Under bright garage lights, we go over the essentials, the logic behind the $8,797 price, the most credible 2026 timing signals, and the daily must-haves that make a budget EV dependable for years. From sensible driving range and easy home charging to low-maintenance hardware and sturdy materials, here's everything you should know. No fluff, only what really lasts. If direct, no-nonsense tech appeals to you, subscribe to WestTech and help us reach 195,473 subscribers, and don't forget to turn on the bell so you never miss an update. How will the Model 2 fit everyday life better than other Tesla models? Its design and size focus on daily use. Tesla Model 2 will be a 5-seat crossover smaller than Model Y to cut material costs, reduce assembly time, and make city driving easier. Expect an overall length around 175 to 180 inches and a width about 72 to 74 inches, trimming bulk while keeping a steady footprint. A tighter turning circle under 36 feet helps with narrow streets and parking garages. Ride height will sit about 6.5 to 7.0 inches so adults can get in and out without crouching. Rear doors will open roughly 65 to 70 degrees, speeding up child seat installation. The second row aims for about 36 to 38 inches of legroom so 2 adults can travel comfortably on longer trips. Cargo space will emphasize flexibility with rear seats folding nearly flat to unlock about 45 to 50 cubic feet for weekend shopping or sports gear. Interior surfaces will use durable coatings with high abrasion resistance and stain protection so the cabin stays fresh after years of use. The main idea is right sizing. Trim several inches off the exterior and you reduce curb weight and cost, yet you still keep the everyday utility a small family needs. Minimalist to stay affordable and tough. Fewer versions and fewer unnecessary parts. Tesla Model 2 will follow a minimalist plan with fewer trims, fewer options, fewer joints, and streamlined software. Cutting part count by even 10 to 20% has 2 direct benefits. First, it removes potential failure points that create annoying faults. Second, it shortens assembly and logistics, lowering cost. The auxiliary electrical system shifts from 12 volts to 48 volts. For the same 600W load, current drops from 50 amps at 12 volts to 12.5 amps at 48 volts. Since resistive loss is proportional to current squared, loss drops by a factor of 16. Wiring can be thinner, harness weight can fall by several kilograms, and copper content can drop by 3 to 4 kilograms. The latest inverter design cuts silicon carbide use by up to 75% while keeping efficiency. A permanent magnet motor without rare earths cuts exposure to price swings and keeps torque density high. These are real engineering levers. You simplify the bill of materials, lighten the harness, and stabilize the supply chain. The result is lower cost, easier serviceability, and durability that means fewer shop visits over the years. Seats made by Tesla with benefits you feel every day. Tesla Model 2 will use in-house seat production located near final assembly. Building seats internally allows tighter control of tolerances at the seat-to-floor interface down to fractions of a millimeter, preventing squeaks and improving crash anchor alignment. Ergonomics can be tuned directly to body structure with travel of roughly 250 height adjustment around 40 mm, and backrest angles that cover daily commuting and long trip comfort. A typical front seat weighs 14 to 18 kgs. Optimizing the frame and rails can remove 1 to 2 kg per seat and improve efficiency. With production on site, foam density, upholstery weave, and seam design can be updated quickly. Durability targets include more than 100,000 sit and slide cycles, abrasion resistance above 50,000 rubs on high contact panels, and low compression sets so the cushion doesn't collapse after years of use. Integrating airbags, heaters, and weight sensors at the source also simplifies quality checks and speed service because entire seat modules can be swapped in minutes. The result is comfort that stays consistent, fewer rattles, and quicker repairs, which suits owners who plan to keep the car for a long time. Battery refinement and daily charging for practical users. Model 2 uses Tesla's new nickel-based lithium battery with a doped cathode that greatly improves durability, allowing daily charging to 90% instead of the old 80% while maintaining long life. This chemistry has high energy density, giving longer range and strong acceleration. Now it's almost as convenient as a standard pack because daily charging habits are simpler. In practice, you plug in overnight, set a 90% limit, and start each morning ready for a full day without battery anxiety. By the numbers, cathode doping lifts charge retention from about 83% to nearly 91% over the same use period. Capacity loss drops from about 20% to under 5% when comparing earlier and updated formulations. That improvement supports a shift in the daily charge recommendation from 80% to 90% without sacrificing longevity. The real-world benefits are a larger usable range each day, fewer urgent top-ups, lower total ownership costs thanks to slower battery wear, and stable utility over many years. All with simple habits that require no technical expertise. Which Model 2 feature would improve your day-to-day life? Right-sized crossover body with tight-turning circle, 48-volt hardware that cuts wiring weight and small faults, in-house seats tuned for durability and comfort. Nickel battery you can charge to 90% daily. Comment the number of your pick. What technologies will Model 2 use to make itself cheaper, tougher, and easier to live with? 48 volts low voltage for auxiliaries. Model 2 adopts a 48-volt instead of 12-volt auxiliary system, so the same power flows with far less current, which is the cleanest way to cut heat, weight, and cost without hurting reliability. For a 600 W HVAC blower, a 12-volt feed needs 50 amps, while 48 volts needs only 12.5 amps. Because wiring loss follows I squared R, quartering the current reduces resistive heat by about 16 times. The current drop lets several heavy Model 2 circuits use slimmer conductors. The HVAC blower feed can move from about 6 mm2 to 1.5 to 2.5 mm2. The radiator fan pair at 400 to 500 watts falls from about 35 to 40 amps at 12 volts to 9 to 10 amps at 48 volts, enabling 4 min0 to 1.0 to 1.5 ohm2. The coolant pump at 200 to 300 watts goes from 17 to 25 amps down to 5 to 7 amps. So 2.5 mm2 can drop towards 0.75 2 can drop to 1.0 mems too. Electric power steering peaks move from tens of amps into the low teens, which keeps connectors cooler during parking. The rear window defroster on the long liftgate run can shift from about 2.5 mm2 to 0.75 to 1.0 mns2 with less voltage drop. Across the harness, copper use can fall by about 3 to 4 kg and total wiring mass by a couple of kilograms. Smaller connectors, fuses, and relays cut parts cost and failure points. And a smart 48-volt power distribution unit shortens long body runs. Owners get cooler running auxiliaries, fewer electrical gremlins, slightly better real-world efficiency, and a simpler bill of materials that supports a truly affordable price. Permanent magnet motor without rare earths. A new permanent magnet motor that eliminates rare earth materials will be used in Model 2 to cut supply risk and material cost while keeping high efficiency. The design combines an optimized magnetic circuit with hairpin windings that raise copper fill factor from about 40 to 45% into the 60 to 70% range. That lowers winding resistance and heat at a given torque. Peak efficiency targets stay above 97%, and average efficiency in stop-and-go use can improve by 1 to 2 percentage points by trimming losses at medium load. Mechanically, lightening the rotor and stator by a few kilograms reduces rotational inertia, smoothing low-speed creep and sharpening tip-in response. Avoiding neodymium and dysprosium stabilizes motor cost against commodity swings. Model 2 integrates motor, single-speed gearbox, and inverter into a compact drive unit aligned with the axle. Shorter shafts and fewer oil seals reduce leak risk and cut noise over years of use. The package is smaller, lighter, and easier to service, supporting a lower bill of materials and better durability, cutting about 75% of silicon carbide in the inverter. Model 2 will significantly reduce silicon carbide device count in the inverter while holding system efficiency. The approach blends several steps. First, tuning DC bus voltage and control timing shortens switching intervals so fewer devices can do the same work. Second, using highly integrated power modules lowers stray inductance, which reduces overshoot and switching loss a lot. Third, improved liquid cooling keeps junction temperatures steady, extending device life. If a previous design needed many MOSFET per phase, Model 2 targets roughly 1/4 to 1/3 of that count. The result is a cost reduction of hundreds of dollars per car, a mass drop of about 1 to 2 kg, and fewer solder joints that fatigue under thermal cycling. Control software will keep switching frequency in the 10 to 20K HD sweet spot and will harvest regenerative braking more effectively. In mixed-city driving, the efficiency gained from cleaner switching in better region usually lands in the low single-digit percentage range. Drivers get the same punch on throttle with slightly longer real-world range and lower inverter thermal stress over time. Do 48-volt auxiliaries, a rare earth-free PM motor, and about 75% less silicon carbide in the inverter make the Model 2 the most durable budget EV. Comment Tesla Model 2 if you think it would surpass most EV on the market. How will Model 2 reshape your total cost of ownership and daily routine? Tires and brakes. The hidden but real 5-year savings. Choosing 17 to 18-inch wheels for Model 2 lowers cost in a clear way. Common 18-inch tires typically cost about $140 to $180 each, while 20-inch tires often run $220 to $240, even $300. At 12,000 miles per year and 30,000 to 40,000 miles per set, you'll replace tires about twice in 5 years using $160 per 18-inch tire. 2 sets of 4 total about $1,280. Using $260 per 20-inch tire, the total is about $2,080. That's an $800 difference from wheel size alone. Regenerative braking is another win. In city driving, the friction brakes are used less, so pads can exceed 100,000 miles before replacement. During the first 5 years, you mostly inspect, clean, and lubricate slider pins, avoiding costly pad and rotor jobs common on gasoline cars. Charging strategy by location. Every 10% shift is worth hundreds. Assume 4 miles per kWh and add 10% charging losses. 12,000 miles per year needs about 3,300 kWh from the grid. If you charge at home on a night rate of 8 cents per kWh, energy costs about $264 per year. If you rely on DC fast charging at 35 cents per kWh, that jumps to about $1,155. An 80% home and 20% DC fast mix is roughly $442 per year. A 50-50 split is about $795. Shifting even 10% of your energy from fast chargers to home or workplace outlets saves tens to hundreds of dollars per year. For Model 2, the best habit is overnight home charging, opportunistic free or low-cost workplace charging if available, and reserving fast charging for road trips. Insurance, repairs, and the monthly budget. Small items add up. A Model 2 priced at $8,797, financed over 48 months at 5%, works out to roughly $23 per month before taxes and fees. Insurance for a small car usually falls around $110 to $150 per month depending on driving record and location. EV maintenance is simple. Plan for a cabin air filter at about $50 per year, brake fluid checks and condition-based replacement, and tire rotations every 6,000 to 7,500 miles to extend tire life. Model 2's integrated drive unit and 48-volt auxiliaries reduce large terminals, relays, and fuses, lowering the chance of small electrical faults. Mobile service and remote diagnostics cut shop time further. Add it all up and you get a clear monthly picture, a stable payment, energy cost driven by your charging mix, modest maintenance, and minimal downtime, which fits an EV you buy to keep with predictable cost of ownership. Uh, that's the $8,787 Model 2 in real-life terms. Right-size design, simpler hardware, smarter 48-volt wiring, a rare earth free drive unit, and a stronger nickel battery you can charge to 90%. Affordable tech at scale should mean lower bills, fewer shop visits, and a car that just works. How would you set yours up? 17 or 18-inch wheels, home charging most nights, or workplace top-ups, mostly city or highway? Share your mix below. Do you want innovation that pays off in daily life? Subscribe to Westech and ring the bell for the next breakdown. Music, music, music.